Welcome to video 5 in our 8-part video series, 8 critical lessons we learned caring for elderly parents. Critical lesson number 5 is get support. When you care deeply about someone, there's a tendency as a caregiver to want to do everything yourself. No one else can do it as well as you do. No one can care as much. No one will try harder when the challenge gets overwhelming. That's how we felt when we first started to take on this challenge of bringing 3 parents into our home. And for a while, it was manageable because the demands were intermittent. The parents, while needing frequent care, were able to care for themselves much of the time. But gradually, over time, the needs intensified until we felt overwhelmed. Yet our parents continued to resist outside help. They resisted bringing in a woman to stay with them while we were away. They even fought us on getting home care assistant to reduce the burden on Marianne. Resistance even in crisis. Even when her father broke his hip, there was still resistance to outside support. Even knowing the incredible burden on Marianne, there was resistance. Reluctantly, they finally accepted some help, but still you could tell they didn't like it and didn't really want it. Maybe it was concerns for privacy or self-consciousness. Maybe it was further loss of independence or some other deep-seated issue. It's amazing how strong that resistance can be. Marianne's mother's muscles atrophied. Only after a long battle did she agree to some in-home therapy from a physical therapist. Marianne had a back operation a year before, and pulling her mother up from a chair could easily hurt her back. So her mom finally accepted this therapy to help her get up from a chair herself, but you could tell it was with real reluctance. There's a lesson here. As much as our parents love us and hate being a burden on their children, self-interest is always a factor in their behavior. Reluctance to change, resisting the loss of independence, irrational fear, loss of privacy, avoidance of anything perceived to be demeaning. These deep emotional perceptions cloud many decisions when it comes to long-term care. Stronger and more forceful. So what does this mean? Well, we concluded that we needed to be stronger and more forceful in dealing with our parents' care. Our tendency had been to be accommodating and gentle, avoiding confrontations. They're our parents. We wanted to be respectful. But after seeing so many times the results of our inaction, we changed our perspective. Marianne got much tougher and more forceful. She insisted on dispensing medications and insisted on persevering with therapy. She wouldn't allow her mother to be as inactive as she was. She took over managing the checkbook and many other examples, and the results proved positive. It's difficult sometimes. You feel like a drill sergeant, sometimes almost abusive, but we decided we had to take responsibility for doing what we thought was right for their care. We tried to do it lovingly, with respect, and as gently as possible. But we learned that a caregiver must take charge for the patient's own good. And at the core of this decision is the issue of support. We learned to actively seek support wherever available. Yes, it is sometimes a little uncomfortable initially for the parents, but it usually comes down to an acceptance that it wasn't as bad as anticipated. You must break through the resistance. So our advice to you is simple. Be somewhat more forceful and aggressive than you might feel comfortable about. You must find a way to break through the resistance. But you must do it with love, understanding, and gentleness. You must find the determination to do what you think is right. You're the caregiver. Take responsibility. Take control of the relationship. But give it structure. We concluded that the frail elderly do best within a routine. That's especially when some level of dementia is present. Gently incorporate outside support services into the routine. The better it will be tolerated and the better it will be accepted. One more thought about support, and that's the support you can receive from family, friends, and peers. Caregiving can be like a cocoon. It can isolate you and insulate you from outside stimulation. Most of your life caring for aging parents is spent within this negative environment. Reach out. It's your responsibility. It's critical to reach out for support from others who understand what you're going through. Talk with people. Interact. Share your frustrations, but don't make it all you talk about. Others will empathize, but they don't want to hear negative stuff all the time. Also, seek out interaction with peers who share similar challenges. Participate in online forums. Seek out a support group that enables you to both learn and share experiences. Elderly care requires strength and a clear head. Support from peers is the best medicine for you. Now check out video 6 in the series, Sleep. We welcome your feedback in the comments. Share your experiences, thoughts, and feelings with all of us by leaving a comment. Also, please like the videos in this series and be sure to subscribe to join our community. Thank you, and God bless you and your family.